Hello, everyone, and welcome to our interview with the masters featuring story artist Guy Borelli.
Hello.
Yo! This interview is brought to you by CGMA. CGMA is an online art academy dedicated to helping students become better artists through the instruction of industry professionals in the field of entertainment. So before we begin our interview, I would like to let you know that Guy is one of our instructors for storyboarding for animation this term. We'll be accepting new students for about another week, another 5 days. So if you guys are interested in joining our fantastic community of artists, feel free to sign up as soon as you can, as seats are super limited. And again, to the audience, for those of you that just joined us, please feel free to, during the interview, ask questions for Guy. If you have any questions about CGMA, his class, or DreamWorks, anything, just go ahead and ask, and we'll try to get to your question during the talk. So thank you guys so much for being here with us today. It's really awesome to have you. And can you tell us about where you are now and what you can share about your current projects? And I'm going to make you the presenter so you can share your screen and show everybody your cool stuff.
Okay. Okay. Let me just show the second monitor because this one's not interesting. Oh, it does show. Okay. So thanks for having me. What was the question again? Should I just tell about myself?
No, it's fine. The question was, where are you? Where are you working, and what can you talk about? Like, what are you working on now? Your personal projects, your DreamWorks projects, if you're able to talk about it. Just.
I'm actually able to talk about the DreamWorks projects. I don't want to talk about my personal projects because that's top secret.
Oh, okay, yeah. Whichever one is good.
Yeah, I'm a storyboard artist at DreamWorks. I'm currently working on Kung Fu Panda 3, which is a
Awesome.
super cool project. Very, very stoked to be working on that. Probably one of the coolest films being developed at DreamWorks at the moment. So yeah, personal projects I can't talk about. I can tell you, but then I'll have to, make sure you don't tell to anybody.
Oh no, no. That's totally cool. So yeah, that's awesome. You're working on Kung Fu Panda 3. How do you feel about that so far? And did you work on the previous ones too?
No, I haven't worked on the previous ones. I love it. I mean, it's a it's a dream of mine to be working on Kung Fu Panda. I never thought that it's actually going to be a reality. It's amazing. It's great.
Really
Took
cool.
a lot of effort to get there, and it's a very challenging project. We're trying to make it the best movie we can.
Wow, that's awesome. Well, I really enjoyed the past two Kung Fu Pandas, so I'm looking
Awesome.
forward to this one too.
Yeah, they're great.
Sweet. So what are you doing now? Can you explain to people what you're working on right now, what we're seeing?
What we're seeing is something that I just came up with. I just wanted to just share with people like the way I've been working lately, which is in SketchBook Pro, the new version of SketchBook Pro, and they have an animation timeline, which is great. We're just talking about it, how it's awesome because you get this nice, cool line, in SketchBook, but you also get the frames, you can do keyframe animation.
Yeah, it's really
And I'm
cool.
just demoing this Arnold-like dude, sci-fi dude with a cannon arm, gonna shoot at the screen. Hopefully not kill us, but hopefully it'll be cool. I don't know how far along I can get, but I'll just work as I go, and hopefully you can get some ideas about the process as I'm doing this. And it relates to storyboard, mostly in the execution sense of storyboarding, the actual drawing the panels and making them move, which is for me like really, really fun part of it, but not the most important one. The most important part, which we'll be focusing with our class, is the storytelling part of it. But this is just fun. This is just to show the awesome capability of SketchBook Pro, and just to show people what we will be talking about, some of what we'll be talking about this semester.
Very cool. That's awesome. So yeah, and if I remember you telling me earlier, this software is actually on a monthly payment program, basically, where you pay like, what was it, two bucks a month for the access to it or something like
I
that?
think yeah, like $2.50 a month. It's like a new thing that they're doing, which I think is much better than what they had before, which is $800 or whatever it
Yeah,
costs.
yeah. Oh my gosh, it's super cool. Awesome. So we do have a question here, Jamal. And Jamal, thank you for hanging out with us. He's like always in here. He's awesome. He's asking about. He's saying that he knows that storyboarding is all about having each scene ask a question to move the story. But what do you do to problem solve a scene if you get stuck? Like when you're trying to, I guess explain a shot and you just can't. You can't. You're just stuck in this in the zone. What do you do?
Is the question specifically about a specific shot or about storytelling, about writing?
I think it's about, I think it might just be about, I guess a little bit of both. I guess when you're in the process of making your board and you're trying to, like, I guess, I don't know, I guess it would be kind of equivalent to a writer's block kind of thing, only for storyboarding, where you don't know where to move next from the shot.
Okay.
I guess,
Yeah, I could try to answer that. I guess it's two separate questions because if it's writing, there's not really a way. A specific every sequence is a beast of its own, with a different place in the movie and place in the big picture, and it's very hard to give advice like like I approach it differently every time, and every time there's a different problem. Sometimes the script is very strong, and it's just a problem to visually represent it. Sometimes the scene needs to be funny, and there's no way to make it funny. So it's just writing is just a beast. Sometimes it goes really smoothly, sometimes it goes not smoothly at all, and it's just you just gotta every time find your own way through it and fight through it. It's always a fight. It's never like yeah, sometimes it's a little easier, but most of the time it's kind of a fight. If the question was about a shot, if I'm trying to tell something, I'm trying to create an interesting shot, that for me is kind of the secondary thing that comes, that's I would say easier, but more like that's kind of the finished part of the process. And first of all, I use thumbnails, to get the story across. Then if that works, if I can tell the story, then there's always a better way, a better shot. Depends if you need a better shot to do it. Usually I just think about, I really want to get familiar with the layout of the scenario, how the background looks like. If I can get the background from art, the 3D model sometimes really helpful. And the props around the characters, try to keep moving them around. And then if I'm really familiar with that and there's like a cool prop that they're interacting with, or they're a cool character coming from, if I know where they're coming from exactly, like from a bird's eye view, and I kind of, plan the choreography, then I'm thinking maybe I can put the camera really close to one of the props, or really close to one of the camera behind their shoulder, maybe next to their arm, maybe next to their leg, just trying in a 3D space to think if I can put the camera in an interesting place close to something, just to put something in the foreground. Usually is a quick way to kind of generate ideas. There's no right way to tell a story. Usually it's like, you can do that, that'll be cool because it connects to that, or you can try a different thing. There's not really a right way, and then you just do it, and then you play it, and then you see if it feels right, or if it's not, and then it's time to figure out a different thing.
And I guess it's really important to also understand the big picture when you're doing your boards, because that helps you pace the story and pace where you're going with it and stuff like that, which probably makes it a little bit less of a problem in production standpoint. When you already know the whole story and you're working your way through the boards and expressing what the writer is or what the writing is trying to get across.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that is definitely an art form in itself. That is I can imagine how challenging that is, trying to express words into actual uh, art vision.
It is challenging, especially if the script is still not fleshed out, and then you're expected to save it. That's the hard. That's really the hard part of it is, you know, if the script is great, it's super fun. You know, you just like find a wow, I'm having such a great time, you know, reading it. I just need to express it visually. You know, the dialogue is working, everything is working. Um, then it's like great, I'll just do my job and you know it'll be great. But most of the time, especially in an earlier stage in the production, you're expected to come up with the script. You're expected to plus the script, and if you're good at what you do, you're actually going to be selected to actually, if you're a good writer, you're actually going to be selected to take care of the problematic areas. You know, which is a blessing and a curse at the same time. You know.
Hmm. Are you also a writer, or do you just do the boards?
You mean me specifically or board artists in
Yeah.
general?
Do you sometimes participate in the writing aspect of it, or is that like a specific position for that kind of job?
Some, you know, storyboard artist is unlike a lot of other roles in the animation production. It's kind of like an animator. That different animators are good in other things, but even more so, that you know, there's not really a clear-cut definition of what is a storyboard artist. And the studio just, you know, gets to know you after a few years, and they get to know what you love to do. You know, there's no such thing as a storyboard artist that's great at everything. You know, actually, if you're really good at one thing, you probably really love doing that, and that comes on the expense of other things. You know, some board artists are great at writing. Some of them are really good draftsmen. Some of them are just draw really funny drawings, you know, like you know, uh, you know, that's super different, you know, than the giant I'm drawing, you know, on the other side, you know. So,
This
um,
guy looks awesome.
and they love it. I mean, the fact that you laugh now would
Uh-huh.
means an audience would laugh at the screening, you know, and sometimes it doesn't matter if the script is good or if the final movie is going to come out good. All they're looking for is making the audience laugh in the screening, you know, even if it's just stupid drawings. So those guys usually have a lot of work, and comedy is gold. You know, it's worth money. It's very, very good.
Hmm.
Some guys are good with really sincere moments. Some guys are good with action. You know, it's more about moving the camera. And
Oh,
you know,
wow.
if you look at Marvel movies these days, and you know, the Matrix, stuff like that, you study that, how to do slow motion. You know, how to move the camera in a really cool way. The pacing, the cutting. You know, just really making it dynamic, using a lot of motion blur in Photoshop, stuff like that. Um,
Right.
so
That's
yeah,
awesome.
I kind of pride myself on being a writer. You know, I love
Mhm.
writing. That also means dialogue sometimes. You know, I'm not as good as the actual writers that get hired to do it, but I can, you know, kind of plus a dialogue, and that's kind of what I'm focusing on. And then the execution part, honestly, is just the icing on the cake. You know, it's just like it's really cool if you can draw well and it cuts nice and animates kind of nicely, the keyframes, and the cameras are great. You know, but at the end of the day, it's about selling the performance, selling the writing, and selling that moment in the story, whatever it is. You know, we talked about the different kinds. Whatever it is, just in the context of the whole multi-million-dollar movie, you know, it has to be a great moment, whatever it is. You know, and
Hmm.
that's your job.
No, that makes sense. That's crazy. So, for example, someone's asking, like, if you have a, like, like you were saying, there's some people that are really good at expressing action, and some people that are really good with, like, touching moments. I guess that would be the same if someone, you know, needed to get a mundane conversation happening in a frame or something, or between two people. That's basically how they would just find somebody that would be um, good at moving a scene depending on the situation that is happening, like inside of it. So
Yeah.
like, yeah, okay, cool. That's awesome. Um, it's weird because I never really thought about that. I just thought of like if you were a storyboard artist, you would be doing like every shot, you know? But it's kind of awesome that they can figure out who's good at what and who enjoys doing what, and then having more people be involved in the storyboarding and stuff like that who are better at expressing certain parts of a show or a movie or something. And speaking of which, do you have you worked in TV production and in movies? And is it the same? Do you tackle it the same way, like as feature film versus like TV show?
I haven't worked in a TV production. I
Oh,
think from
okay.
what I heard, it's a much faster pace, and the drawings need to be tighter and cleaner, and
Mhm.
they're not really precious, like I said, about each moment needs to be perfect. It's more like just get it done. You know,
Mhm.
that's what it is. Just make it the best you can. Of course, you try to impress them and you know and do the best job you can, but it's more like a really fast production. It has to go in there. It's much more animated. It's much more clean. It's more about the execution part, you know, in a TV production. But as I said, I don't have an experience. I just wanted to correct one thing. It's not that they cast a different storyboard artist for each shot. That would be impossible. They cast each storyboard artist for each sequence. You know, a
Oh, I
sequence is
gotcha.
it's a
Yeah,
series of pages. You know, sometimes 2 to 8 pages of script. You know, to 2 to 8 minutes of screen time, and it's like
gotcha. Okay,
chunks. You know.
sweet. Let's see. So we have a couple questions in the audience. I've been kind of peppering in some questions relating to what we're talking about, but there's a couple people who I think are looking to be like they are either aspiring story artists or looking to get into the field. They're wondering, so um, what's the best way to improve storyboarding skills? Any exercise recommendations? And on top of that, uh, if you present a storyboard portfolio, should you focus on a specific skill set at, like, for example, whether you do action or facial acting, or should it be broad and stuff like that?
Let's try the first question first because it's two questions.
Okay.
Uh,
So the first one was how to improve storyboarding skills.
Absolutely. It's really not that you know the exercises are pretty simple. Just watch movies you like, find whether it's live action or animation, and just freeze it, freeze it each shot. Have a little sketchbook and just draw thumbnails of the shots. You know, just little compositions, and really write to yourself how did it cut. How did it cut? Did it cut an action? Did it cut on a sound effect? Is there music starting playing in the background? Um, what composition are they focusing on and why? You know, if you do this enough times, you would start to get the logic of it and also the different styles of the artist. So just pick an artist that you like their style, um, and it's a fantastic exercise. I mean, you don't really need much more than that, other than maybe just, you know, drawing has to be second nature. So if your drawing is not second nature, I suggest taking a drawing class and really focus on what they're saying there, um, and keep a sketchbook and keep your drawings, you know, fast, loose, energetic. Look at animators, how their rough drawings look like. Just focusing on rough, you know, moving, kinetic type drawings. And then for the face, ooh, that's a tough one. How to improve with the face? You just really got to know the two things. You got to know the anatomy of the head and the face and the muscles, what they do, and what emotion. And then you need to be a good actor, or you know, for me, like myself, I'm a really terrible actor. Um, but if I take the time and really think about it, I can analyze it, and not in real time in front of people, but just in front of myself, act it out, and just get the right emotion in the context of the story. You know, what's the internal thought process, you know, and stuff like that. So, you know, um, so yeah, so in terms of filmmaking, directing, you know, go over existing films and just thumbnailing, and then in terms of drawing, taking a drawing class, keeping a sketchbook, keep your drawing loose, and acting. I went over that as well.
Sweet. Awesome. So I'm looking through all the questions. There's so many questions. Um, so you were talking about studying from shows and movies and such. What are some of your favorite movies that you studied from, and or you know, what movies did you learn the most from when you were doing, you know, your observations? I mean, and I'm sure you do the observations just all the time now, since it's kind of your
I should
thing.
be doing them more.
But
I'm not. I've been kind of slacking on that. Definitely it doesn't hurt at all to do that. I mean, it's not that fun to do. You know, it's kind of annoying. It's kind of like homework, but it's very important. You just got to do that. You know. What are my favorites to study? The Incredibles. You know. I think Brad Bird's a terrific
oh
animation
yeah.
director.
Hmm.
And just, you know, studying from him as much as you can about you know, why he's doing certain things and his compositions and all that. Actually, there's a really cool blog that just breaks down The Incredibles shot per shot. If you look it up, you know, The Incredibles breakdown, you should probably be able to find that. And I love short films. There's really artistic short films. I love to break it down. There was one I really loved called Phantom Limb. Phantom Limb. So I broke that down shot per shot. It's fantastic. Just really, I love things that are a little, you know, not standard, you know, a little anachronistic, more like emotional cutting rather than you know, time-based cutting. Just how he tells a story. I love Legend of Korra. It's fantastic. I'm just picking the best parts, the action scenes, and it's just unbelievable.
Oh my gosh, yeah. The
Just shot per
action
shot.
animation is just insane.
Yeah, you know, just shot per shot. What they're doing there. What else did I do? We did. I think we really focused on Incredibles. That was really fun to do.
Hmm.
It's just
It's such a good
fantastic.
movie. I love
Off the
that
top of
movie
my
so
head.
much.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, gosh, The Legend of Korra, that the stuff that they do, like the fighting scene, the fighting sequences that they animate in that show are just amazing. I'm just like blown away.
Yep.
I guess from what I heard for that particular show, I think don't they record live action footage of martial artists fighting and sparring and animate on top of that? Like I think that's
Oh, is
how
that
they
so?
showed it. Yeah, yeah. I was reading a how like it was behind the scenes on the Avatar shows, and
Okay.
Korra especially, they do live footage, and they don't necessarily roto, but the animators use the live footage and basically draw exactly the movements that are happening, and it's like there's so many frames happening in the fight sequences that it looks so cool. It's like I've never seen animation done quite like that before, and in such detail and stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great.
It's
I was
it's really
actually
cool.
talking more about the bigger set pieces. Like I know season one, I think, had a great set piece that I don't know if anybody knows what I'm talking about, but they break from the roof. They're having like a match. Do you remember that scene? It's like a
Oh,
match, and
was
they
it?
break from the roof. It's super dramatic, and then
Whoa.
that metal bender is kind of using wires to kind of
Mhm.
slingshot Korra up to the roof, and it's just unbelievable. Like things are breaking, and just a really dramatic like
Cool.
moment. There's something to that moment, you know, just something
Mhm.
to it, you know.
That's incredible. Yeah, I think I know what you're. Yeah, when the equalists were breaking in or something. I think it's what Jamal was saying.
Yeah.
I think I remember that part because I that was one of my favorite scenes. I think I'm kind of behind on Korra, but I really did like season one a lot. So
Yeah.
awesome. Let's see. Someone wants to know how many panels per day do you do at DreamWorks?
Depends, you know. Depends on what they are. You know, they love to see quick thumbnails, first of all, right off the bat. Like we're talking about, you know, maybe 200 per 2 days, so 100 a day thumbnails. That's including the writing. But I draw them like I draw them like that,
Mm-hmm.
like honestly like this size, and with a round brush. That's the speed I'm doing too. Like so that for me is a thumb.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Something like that. And so you do 100 of these a day. And then when I clean up, you know, you get tons of changes. You know, it takes a few days, just a week to get it right.
Mm-hmm.
And then you probably get another week to clean it up, around 300, 400, sometimes 600 panels. If
Wow.
you, yeah, probably 300 a week to clean up, but that's already after you have the thumbnails. So
Right. Yeah.
overall, for 300 would be right 3 days for the thumbnails plus a week for the clean. So yeah, something like around 250 a week is a good pace. And then you'll be considered you know, high pace, not crazy pace. Some people can do more. Some people can do 500, but
Wow.
250 a week from zero to finish would be, you know, if 10 is the fastest as 1 is the slowest, it would be around the eight level, something like that.
Yeah.
And that's including coloring them, I mean shading them, and motion blur, and just animating or whatever, you know, just making them work.
It's crazy. It's cool though. So it's kind of like a growing process. It's just they kind of evolve over time, and you just keep kind of refining them until they're ready to go. Now, from how small they are, the thumbs, do they grow in size, or the thumbs are just concepts of where the shot's going to be, um, and like I guess the dialogue that's happening in them?
They're growing size because I go like this. I
Oh.
mean, the file is still the same size. I'm just zooming in and out, you know. When I'm
Oh,
cleaning up, I'm
okay.
probably going to clean up about this size, about something like that. Depends on what it is. If it's a full body shot and the characters are like you know, are here,
Hmm.
then I'll probably go in a little bigger, you know.
Gotcha.
Um,
Okay.
yeah. What was the other question?
Um, let's see. I think someone wanted to know if let's see, where did you get training? Like, did you go to school for your like your animation and drawing and stuff like that, or is this something that was kind of self-taught?
Uh, I went to Pratt Institute in Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
But sorry, I'm trying to concentrate here real quick
Oh
because I
no,
can't
it's
get that
okay.
arm.
It's okay.
Uh, can't get that arm to go. But you guys will forgive me. I'm trying to talk in
I know it's so hard to do.
the same time. So I don't know what he's doing, but it's not energetic enough for me. I'm really trying to just to really explode him on the page. Maybe I'll even take the arm off completely to here. I went to Pratt Institute, but I didn't feel like I learned that much there. Um, I felt like it was up to me to kind of Just gotta get that arm. It's
Sorry.
really starting to be annoying. I could just can't. It's not gonna work. Um, so yeah, I wasn't really satisfied from my professors, and I kind of had to self-teach myself a lot of the things. Fortunately, I had a really good friend who was an amazing artist, Jessica. She was just fantastic. And sometimes it's all it takes is just one really good student, and you both kind of trying to one up each other. And she always one ups me to this day. Um, and kind of something to keep the fuel the flames.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I worked as an animator, CG animator, a lot of VFX work, which I wasn't really excited about, and kept working on my drawing all the time. Just like I said, studying the shots, but also studying, from Milt Kahl and Glenn Keane, my idol, of course. I'm sure it's everybody's idol.
Mhm.
Um, just studying a lot from him, trying to get that energy. I always loved to draw faces, just kept drawing faces whenever I could, just super fun. Animals, stuff like that. And when the opportunity came, and DreamWorks were looking for storyboard trainees, then I submitted a test, and that was a long journey. That's a story for another time. It was a very long journey. I wasn't accepted right away. I kept pushing. I got a job at Illumination Entertainment, and once you get that first gig, of what you really want to do, is
Mhm.
where you take off, because that's like the best school ever. You actually get paid to sit 8 hours a day and just do it, and you're just trying to push yourself and do the best job you can. And I think that's where I really, really learned, is actually while working.
Yeah, I can imagine you probably learned so much just by doing the job because it's a lot of work.
hmm
It's a lot of work and you're surrounded by really, really talented people on top of it. So, and that
And
kind of,
DreamWorks, you're surrounded, yeah. But in Illumination, the problem was that it's um, it's like working from home.
right,
So it was a little
less
you were
involved,
not,
I guess.
yeah, less involved, and like, come on, I wanna see people. And that was one of the reasons I went um, to DreamWorks, is to really learn from other artists and grow. And that was amazing. That was like an amazing journey. Um, sorry, so he goes like from here to up and then down again. So up and then down. Trying to imagine the head. What did the head do?
Hmm.
Um, I think the head would be slightly up. Okay. So yeah, so that was great. Just that just coming to an environment full of amazing artists, whether they're animators or storyboard artists, and that was huge leveling up on my part.
That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, it's always a really cool journey from every time I ask an artist, you know, how they got started or, how much effort it took for them to break in. It's always just an interesting story and how it's like just a battle of attrition and keeping up and staying on top of it and keep trying um, and just staying involved with what you're doing. It's really
hmm
cool. It's always inspirational to hear.
hmm
Um, do you do comics? Have you ever thought about doing comics?
I am not into comics.
No? Okay.
I like to read them. I don't like to do them. They're a lot of work.
Oh yeah, they are.
uh, the cleaning up part. I always had a problem with that part. I mean, that's why I'm a storyboard artist. I just like to do the broad strokes, and then I get usually kind of bored. Some people
Mhm.
love it. They're like, it's like their zen moment. Their greatest fun in life is to just actually getting everything figured out and then just plugging in. They love it. For me, it's
Yeah.
like not like that.
Yeah, you want to get a point across as I guess as soon as possible or with the least amount of like I don't know. If you're anything like me, if I think too much about something, I kind of lose the point of it. And
Yeah,
so I just need to get it out of my head because I can see it there clearly. But if I dwell on it, it goes away or
yeah,
something like that. So I kind of see what you mean there.
I mean, I like to make things look nice. I mean, I'm also addicted to animation, you know, to just
Mhm.
looking at the movement of it. So for me, a comic is more like a, it's the storyboarding part without the fun movement. Because you say like you're lazy and you went to be a traditional animator, that's, you know, 24 drawings a second. I'm not sure you're in the right path. But
Mhm.
at least if I see it's moving, um, it's like rewarding to me to see it alive. And
Mhm.
comics is more about the storytelling, you know.
Yeah,
If I'm
yeah.
doing that, I might as well just do a storyboard, you know, and just think about it like a movie. Try to get a property going. Try to, you know, go to studios, sell the property, rather than, you know, sit and ink this stuff for ages, you know, and then just get a publisher. I don't know. For me, that I'm more of a filmmaker than an artist, you know.
Right. Yeah. That makes sense. Um, Someone is also asking if do you use any 3D? I think you were mentioning about using some 3D assets to help you in some of your boards, but someone was asking, do you use a 3D package support to define camera moves any better? Like if you're
Nah,
doing
I
an
mean,
interesting camera
just
shot or
getting the scene in Maya is awesome, you know, but usually you're not supposed to rely on that, and you know, you never get the right shot if you're just trying to mess around with the camera. You kind of get it, but then draw it, and you'll draw it better. You know, you'll cheat it, it'll look better.
something.
So definitely don't have like not really heavily relying on a 3D package for that.
Yeah. Let's see. Do you have any storyboarding books that you recommend? Any or any books in general that you recommend for anyone to read?
Yeah, of course. Storyboarding. There's a great book by Joseph Galibas. Galibas. I think it's Galibas, something like that. You'll find it. It's great. The guy is worked, I think, in Disney many years. He's not the greatest. I hope he's not here in the audience.
Ah!
He's not the greatest draftsman, but the drawings look kind of crappy. But it's really informative about, you know, shots, and you know, I studied really good, some really good sentences. Like every shot is a close-up. You know,
Mhm.
you sign if you want to know what that means. Every shot is a close-up. Just sign up to my class, and I'll tell you. Um, and a lot of good stuff in that book. What else? A great storyboarding book is the Don Bluth one. You know, I really like it. There's
Oh
some really
yeah.
good advice in storyboarding. You know, regarding story, a lot of people swear by Save the Cat. It's like the new thing these days with story theory. So it's fantastic. And of course, for traditional animation, always recommend The Illusion of Life. Always recommend the Preston Blair book for drawing. You know,
Sweet.
yeah,
I'm looking at these. I'm pasting these to the student or to this artist who was asking. Um, what was the last one you said? The what was it?
the Preston Blair.
Yeah, 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 yeah. How do you say, is it Christian Blair? Would you say?
Preston.
Preston. Okay. Whoops.
You guys don't know the Preston Blair book? Come on, it's a classic.
I'm bad. There we go. Oh, thank you, Kevin. Francis Glebas is the book directing the story by Francis Glebas. Cool. Yeah, I am an artist, but I don't really do animation stuff, so a lot of this stuff is kind of new to me. New to me. So what do you do in your spare time? Like what do you do? do you find yourself like drawing a lot?
Um,
Or just do you like to go outside and like
no,
experience
I don't go
things?
out. No, I'm a
You don't go
vampire.
out much?
No,
You don't go out there?
I'm a vampire. I
We
would
don't go
die
out
from the
there.
sun. Um, no, no. I recently not drawing that much. That's
Mhm.
it. There's enough of that at work. I mean, it's good practice. I'm just working on my top secret things at the
Oh yeah,
moment.
yeah, yeah.
I'm studying Spanish. My wife is
Cool.
Spanish, so I'm studying Spanish.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that takes a lot of time. Teaching this CGMA class soon, so it takes a
Yeah.
lot of time.
You
I'm
can teach it
teaching.
in Espanol. No, don't.
Sí. Mi español es, más o menos, not not great.
I understand
No
a lot of
bueno.
Spanish, but I can't speak it. So,
Okay,
but that's cool. One of my other friends is learning Spanish too, actually,
okay.
which is funny. But that's cool. How long have you been doing Spanish learning thing? And are you using like
2 weeks.
Rosetta? Huh?
2 weeks.
2 weeks?
2 weeks. Yeah.
How's it going?
Great. I love
Making
it.
progress? Oh,
Yeah,
that's
it's great.
awesome.
My wife is Spanish, so she's my profesora. She's helping me,
That's awesome.
and it's quick. I'm learning quick lately. I'm totally
That's
into it.
really cool.
Yeah.
It's good to learn Spanish, especially if you're in California. It's just I grew up in Florida, and there are lots of Spanish speakers there. And then I move over here, and there's like even more. I'm just like, I need to learn this language. I need to learn it.
You do.
It's an amazing language. There's so many people that I think there's more people that probably know Spanish than I don't know if that's true or not, but
In the world or in California?
in the world, like
In the world? That's
in
probably
the
true.
world, you think? Because I know a
Like,
lot of like even I think like people in China, they learn Spanish as well. Like English is also learned, but I don't know. I thought I
okay.
read something about that somewhere. I'm not sure. But oh, I guess Chinese is the most spoken language according to
Yeah,
geography.
Chinese, yeah.
But yeah, I would
That's my
imagine
next one.
because yeah. Oh, what are you doing? Like Mandarin or?
No, I'm kidding. Let me
Oh,
finish Spanish first before.
okay. Fine. That's awesome. Well, I heard Chinese is actually very hard to learn.
It is. Spanish
But
is quite not that bad, I have to say. So far,
yeah.
so good.
So we have a question. Who's your favorite film director or cinematographer?
Mm, I'm really into David Fincher lately. He's been
Hmm.
doing great. Did you guys see Gone Girl?
I didn't get to see that one.
It's great.
I
It's very,
didn't
very
see
good.
it.
It's kind
Awesome.
of disturbing. He's very good. It's like, like he loves to treat his audience as perverts, and it works. It just sticks with you. It's just really disturbing.
Oh.
Fantastic camera work, very minimalist, and great colors and lighting. I love his work. Very dark.
Awesome.
Of course, Tarantino, is fantastic.
Yes, Tarantino.
Coen Brothers, um, Wachowski Brothers for Matrix 1 mostly, I would say. I don't like
Hmm.
the other ones.
You excited about Jupiter Ascending?
I am excited. I hope I'm not going to be terribly disappointed.
Me too. I'm really nervous.
I'm really nervous about that. We'll see how that goes. But
Oh, I'm sorry, Wachowski siblings. Sorry. I
yeah,
I keep calling them
yeah,
the
yeah,
Wachowski brothers too. I'm just like,
yes, yes.
no, I'm pretty excited about that one too for sure. Um, oh, yeah, I don't know of any good movies that I want to see coming out, but I definitely want to see Jupiter
American
Ascending.
Sniper looks good.
Oh yeah, have you seen
Clint
that?
Eastwood? No, want to.
Oh, I heard it was really good.
It's Clint Eastwood. I mean, just he's
Yeah,
awesome. It's amazing. Speaking of inspiration, I mean,
it's awesome. Song of the Sea? What?
Song of the Sea. Yeah,
Oh
it's
yeah,
great.
isn't that the people that did was it the Story of Kells or something?
Yeah,
Or
Secret of
was
Kells.
Secret of Kells? Yeah, that was such a cute animation. I loved it.
I'm not into it. I could see how a lot of people would be. It's really unique and awesome, but I don't know. I'm just not into it.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
It's all good. What do you think, someone asked you, what do you think of the cinematography on box trolls?
Cinematography is great. I have no problem with the cinematography, and definitely they get extra points for originality. That for me, you get the most points for that. But as a story, I don't think it holds up very well. I think
Oh,
they're
okay,
getting
yeah.
a little caught up in their own vision. We're so great, kind of, I don't want to use curse words, so you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Any more questions?
Yeah, I'm just looking through some of them because some of them are very similar to what you've already answered. So, someone's asking of any good acting references, if you know of any.
Acting references. Ooh, good
Yeah.
question. Good question. Mm, you mean for like subtle scenes?
Yeah, I think so.
Um, Disney movies. Just if you're looking for the animated version.
Hmm.
Which one had a really good subtle scene? I mean, I think DreamWorks stuff is much more subtle than Disney stuff when it comes to emotion. Um, I love Dragons 2. That scene where if you guys seen it, the scene where Stoic finds his wife again. You should see the boards for that too. It's gorgeous. Bulem Bochiva,
Hmm.
if you guys know him, it's unbelievable animator and storyboarder. He worked on Ratatouille, all the scene where
Ooh,
Remy is controlling the really hard stuff he did, and now his storyboarding is unbelievable. Um,
wow. Is there a way to see, is there a way to see the storyboards of an animation once they've been, like, once the animation has been completed and released? Is that a thing? Like,
Definitely, there's a way to see it.
yeah?
People put it on their websites, and
Oh, the artist put
and the
theirs.
other
Okay.
way better way is to sign up to my class, and I have really awesome examples of artists you never even heard of.
Oh, yeah. Awesome.
So I highly recommend that, and I'll show
Sweet.
you some secret stuff.
Secret stuff. Let's see. We have someone asking, let's see. What are the most important aspects and what should you focus on when composing a storyboard panel?
I can't, it's very hard to answer this question because it depends on
Yeah.
what what part of the story is it. Um, you know,
Yeah, it's kind of like a broad sounding question, but I think I would imagine focusing on, I guess my answer is quite broad too, because it would be getting the story across. Um,
depends again. If it's an action scene,
yeah.
I think the most important thing would be the dynamic, clear, you know, camera move, um, cool factor, a lot of debris and effects and motion blur. Um, if it's a comedy, it's about the actually less is more. You don't want to. If something is too nice, too cool, too pretty, it's not going to be funny. So
Hmm.
actually, less is more. It's more about the funny drawings and selling the jokes and about the timing. If there's a place to make them pause for a second, have a beat. Oh no, I messed up.
Oh no. What?
Whatever.
Did
It's
you?
okay.
Oh, okay. I thought it crashed again. I was like, no. Oh, it looks awesome though. Just those two frames look really cool. Oh, it's so awesome.
Um, I'm not gonna clean up that. No, really, really quickly. Let's do it really quickly.
Yeah, no,
That's
no,
what
no,
time is
go
it?
for
We
it.
got 10 minutes. Okay,
We got 10
almost
minutes.
done. Almost done. Almost done. Almost done. Almost done. Okay. Really quickly. Really quickly. Suggesting. Good enough.
Oh.
And then this one. Oh, I wanted him to do a little whatever. I'll just go straight to this one.
Looks like he has like a flat cannon or something. Okay.
Just want to animate this though. Yeah. Where were we?
Um,
Sorry.
I don't remember what you were talking about last, but we do have another question about, let's see, hold on. It was about Miyazaki. Do you like Miyazaki? And would you think that you could get useful things from studying his films?
Um, no, Miyazaki's awful. I hate Miyazaki. It's just so unimaginative and just really, really a drag. Of course I love Miyazaki. It's amazing.
Really?
It's like the best,
I was
the
like, oh
best,
my god, that's awful.
the best thing ever. It's unbelievable. That guy is the talent of our generation. Of course, I love Miyazaki. I can't believe I forgot to mention him, but um, yeah, of course, yeah, studying his stuff. Yes, everything you said.
Awesome. I love Miyazaki. I was like heartbroken for a second. I was like, let's see. Oh, someone's asking about the DreamWorks layoffs, and would you recommend someone trying to get into animation to continue trying to get into it with how the animation industry is at the moment? I have to say something about this. It's kind of always been like this. It's just the nature of the beast, pretty much. But anyway, I'll let you continue with
No,
answering that.
absolutely,
But
absolutely. That's always been like that. And just as companies are in trouble, other companies are opening up. There's companies you didn't even hear about. Anybody hear about the Zagtoons? They
mm-mm.
opened up in Glendale. They're looking for animators. Um, they're working on a feature right now. Just of course, actually, I would say now is the best time to get into it because companies that are desperate are seeking to innovate and do really cool projects. So absolutely,
Mm-hmm.
That being said, there are more and more good artists these days coming up, and the competition is fierce. Um, more so in my day. My day is pretty fierce. Before that, it wasn't, but not as much. But these days, very very fierce competition. Um, so you just gotta really really work hard for that position, and just be the best. It's not a luck thing. If you're really good at what you do, you're gonna get hired.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact.
Just keep practicing, and what we have these days is CGMA, schools like that. We have professionals that tell you exactly the insides, what we learned being inside, and all the tips and tricks of how to do it. Um, and that would be my answer.
Yeah. No, it's a good answer. But yeah, I feel like the competition is very fierce, but there's also a lot of ways to really, like, there's way more resources than there used to be on, how to get your portfolio up to par, what information you need to help push you in the right direction. I remember I was going through school for 3D like almost 10 years ago, and there weren't many resources at all, except for a couple schools that were teaching it, 3D for like feature animation and video games. But the sad part was that my training didn't teach me how to necessarily do well in the industry, which kind of broke me because I didn't know how to, I knew how to do my craft, but I wasn't ready for the industry. So it was like, I was like, oh God. But
What part was the most difficult with the industry? Just how to work with people, or?
oh, just what to expect, I guess, to be honest, because I think the last professional 3D job I held was at Nickelodeon, and I just didn't understand the pipeline very well, and I guess I didn't understand the workflow. So it was like, I guess for each studio it's a little different, but
Hmm.
I just feel like I didn't really have, I got all the technical training I needed, but the industry insight was something that would have sincerely helped with, you know, making sure I'm not creating a burden or, you know, getting in the way of certain, or just being able to understand simpler concepts, or like, you know, just being able to simplify the information into like, this is what you should really expect in an industry environment, you know, as opposed to here's how to make this. It's like, well, that's great, I know how to make that, but how do I apply it to what I'm doing in a way that makes sense to everyone else? Because you're working with everybody else, and you're not working alone. So that, I think that would have really helped to integrate integrate you a little better into the system, because it works a little differently than how you're schooled. But yeah, it just I think it just boils down to you know, who was teaching and how they learned, and if they had professional experience. So I think that always makes a difference if you're being taught by an industry professional, or if you're just taught by someone who knows how to do it.
Right.
But yeah, I think when I was trying to get into 3D, well, I almost moved to Austin, and it was in the middle of the Great Recession in 2008. And I was applying to all these game jobs, and all the job studios were just going under at the same time when I got there. So it was just like, oh no. It was really rough. That was a rough time. But now I'm doing more illustration stuff. That is amazing looking.
Cool, thanks.
That's hilarious. Wait, do it again.
Okay, I'm doing the last one.
Okay, that's awesome. This stuff amuses me greatly.
So he's like,
That's so cool. Oh, that's neat. And you did this in like an hour. That's fantastic. That's so cool. Awesome. Well, does anyone out there have any last-minute questions? We're going to wrap it up. We have about, 2 or 3 more minutes. If not, I want to remind you guys, we do have our YouTube channel. We're going to be uploading all of our interviews. Well, we already have a lot of them already uploaded, but this interview, along with the interview we had yesterday, will be available on our CGMW YouTube. So if you'd like to check that out, feel free to subscribe. And also, as a reminder, we're going to be taking in new students until the 30th of January, which is this month, so about 5 more days. Guy is going to be teaching storyboarding for animation with us, so if you want to get in on his class, definitely sign up. Seating's limited, and we won't be taking in new students until April. So if you want to join now is the time. And yeah, so it'll be really, really fun, and we're looking forward to having you, Guy. And looking forward to seeing the work this term. Yeah, definitely. And
looking forward to teaching and kicking some student butt.
Woohoo!
Into shape.
Yeah. That's awesome. Cool. Well, thanks, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a great day.
Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you.